This is booked for drama, where stories burn, hearts break, the tea is always hot and never a part 2. Today we're diving into Exit the Game. Let's go. I reincarnated into this world with a mission: seduce one of the 4 guys the system assigned to me. Succeed, and I'd get my life back, the one I lost in a car crash. But guess what? I failed. Utterly. Each and every one of them fell head over heels for the same goddamn woman. They turned on me, spewing hateful words, telling me to just die already. In the end, I did. I ended my life, a mission failure. And only then did they lose their minds when they saw my lifeless body. Fucking typical. Host, mission failed, 25-year deadline exceeded. You are no longer eligible to continue the mission. The system's cold voice jolted me back to reality. I was standing outside a church, listening to that goddamn system. Inside, Parker Sheffield and Jessica Landry were kissing at the altar. He was the last guy the first was supposed to seduce. Another epic fail. When I was first reborn, the system gave me a deal: get one of those 4 guys to fall for me within 25 years, and I'd earn a second chance. But here I am, a quarter of a century later, with nothing to show for it. Guess I was never meant to live, huh? I turned and walked away, ending up on the busiest overpass in town. The system said my time was up. I had to handle things myself, permanently. As I stared at the cars whizzing by, I was bombarded with memories of those guys, their cold words, their contempt. It all came back to Jessica Landry, the woman they were all obsessed with. The system tried to comfort me. It's not your fault. She's the chosen one. They're naturally drawn to her. I gazed up at the clear blue sky, thinking, is that it? Because I'm just some random side character, I'm doomed to fail? Fuck it. I didn't want to think anymore. I closed my eyes and stepped into the chaos. The screech of tires filled the air, followed by a furious roar. Haley, what the fuck? If you want to die, do it somewhere private. I opened my eyes to see my brother, Caleb Wright, dragging me to his car. He was one of the 4 guys the system had picked for me. The system said that if I could get his brotherly affection to 100%, I'd win. But then Jessica Landry sank her claws into him. She told him I hired someone to rape her. Caleb believed her without question. And he hated me for it. Caleb drove me to the river, hauled me out of the car, and slapped me hard across the face. If you're gonna die, do it somewhere no one has to deal with your stupidity. I picked out a nice spot for you. Now go on, jump. My head spun from the blow. I tried to kill myself in front of him before, desperate to get him to notice me, to hear my side of the story. But he only had eyes for Jessica. Now he thought I was just pulling the same old stunt. Caleb, what are you doing here? Why aren't you at Jessica's wedding? Are you here because of me? I looked up at him, my voice choked with bitterness. He was at the church, wasn't he? Was he worried about me? Was that why he followed me? I still had a sliver of hope. He sneered, don't flatter yourself. I was picking up the bridesmaid dress for Jessica when I ran into your crazy ass. And just so you know, I'm not falling for your bullshit, Haley. My hope shriveled and died. I should have known. My brother was head over heels for Jessica. He was her lapdog, even when she was marrying someone else. Willing to run errands for her wedding. What a goddamn simp. I didn't say a word. I just turned and started wading into the river. Maybe Caleb thought I was bluffing. He stood on the bank, taunting, hurry up, slowpoke. If you're going to die, get it over with. I have to get back to the wedding. I picked up the pace, letting the water soak my clothes, numb my skin, and fill my mouth. This was it. I was finally getting out. But then I was jerked backward, out of the water. Smack. Caleb slapped me again. You really think you can die on me, Haley? Mom gave you that life. It's not yours to throw away. Mom was the only one in this world who ever gave a damn about me. I couldn't bear to hurt her. But I had to get out. Caleb's interruption forced me to retreat. I made up some excuse and headed home, with his words ringing in my ears. So Parker Sheffield got married? So what? If you love him so much, set him free. That's real love. I didn't love him. I was just trying to go home. I bought a sturdy rope and went to a deserted park. I had to do this away from Mom. I couldn't traumatize her. I tied the rope to a tree, ready to hang myself. Looking at the noose, I couldn't help but laugh bitterly. 25 years in this godforsaken world. It felt like a lifetime. When I first arrived, Caleb hated me. He thought I was stealing Mom and Dad's love. Seducing him was hard, but I believed that with enough love, he'd eventually accept me. I skipped meals to save money to buy him video games. I took the blame when he got in trouble. When he was sick, I braved a storm to get him medicine. I spent my whole summer paycheck on a $300 pair of sneakers he wanted. Slowly, disaffection for me began to grow. I almost thought I was going to succeed. But then Jessica Landry showed up and stole everything I had worked for. Whatever. All those years, just a dream. I stood on a rock, slipped the noose over my head, and jumped. The choking sensation hit me instantly. My body writhed in protest, but I stayed silent. I didn't want anyone to find me. Oh, right. I left a note, so I wouldn't scare anyone. Don't be afraid. I'm a star now. My mind began to drift. As I approached death, memories of this world flashed before my eyes. No matter how hard I tried, Jessica Landry always took everything. Everyone loved her, not me. Just when I thought it was over, someone lifted me up. I gasped, sucking in the air. Haley, what the fuck are you doing? It was Dr. Samuel Sam Bradford, my former psychiatrist, 8 years older than me. Another one of my targets. When I was diagnosed with depression, he was the one who treated me. The system said I could seduce him too. So I spent time trying to win him over. We had dinners, visited art galleries, even amusement parks. He introduced me to his grandmother, the woman he admired most in the world. He told me I was the first girl he ever brought home. His affection for me grew so fast, I thought I was finally going to win. But then Jessica Landry showed up again. She cried to Sam, "Dr. Bradford, Haley hired someone to rape me. I can't sleep, I keep having nightmares." And what did Sam do? He held her in his arms, right in front of me. "Don't worry, I'm here for you." That day, Sam, his eyes burning with rage, told me to get the hell out. He said my depression was fake, just a ploy to get his sympathy. He called me disgusting, and just like that, another mission failed. The irony wasn't lost on me. 2 suicide attempts in one day, and I ran into 2 of the guys I was supposed to seduce. What were the odds? Shouldn't you be at Jessica's wedding? My voice was flat, my eyes empty. Sam was handsome, with a gentle voice and caring touch. That's how he pulled me out of the darkness, but he also pushed me back into it. "Can't I just take a walk if I'm not in the mood to be there?" he said, frowning, his face tight with frustration. He loved Jessica too, didn't he? He even gave up a chance to study abroad for her. He must be upset about the wedding. What about you? Why are you trying to kill yourself? Or are you just trying to get my attention? Can you please stop pretending to be depressed? Find another trick. His words didn't sting as much this time. I was used to it. He always said I was faking. But I really was depressed. Couldn't he see that? When you're unloved, everything you do is just ammunition for others to say whatever they want. I didn't answer. I stood up and walked away, already thinking of another way to die. Maybe it was the despair on my face, or the emptiness in my eyes. But Sim must have realized I was serious this time. He grabbed my arm and dragged me to his place. He called Caleb and told him to come get me. When Caleb arrived, he brought Jessica Landry and Parker Sheffield with him. Jessica shrank behind Parker, looking terrified. Parker glared at me, his voice full of scorn. "Haley, do you really have to fake this for sympathy? Today is Jessica's and my wedding. Are you really going to ruin it? Haven't you done enough?" They all thought I was some manipulative bitch trying to hurt Jessica. I looked at them, my face empty, maybe even disgusted. What if I told you Jessica was the one who hurt me? That she hired someone to rape me? Jessica turned pale. The guys looked at each other, confused. "No, Haley, why are you trying to slander me? You're the one who destroyed me." Jessica burst into tears, playing the helpless victim, her favorite role. "Enough. Haley," Caleb shouted, his face twisted in anger. "You're making this up. Apologize to Jessica now." Sam's voice was icy. "Haley, I suggest you apologize to Jessica." Parker didn't even look at me. He was too busy comforting her. Jessica really did have plot armor. Whatever she said became truth. I was always the liar. She was always the innocent one. And I was always the villain. Looking at their hatred, I realized how pathetic I'd been, twisting myself into knots for a life that was never mine to live. I was tired. Death felt like the only peace. I shoved them aside, trying to leave, but they blocked me. "If you leave, you'll just find another way to hurt Jessica," Caleb sneered. "You're staying here. Sam and I will take turns watching you. You're not going to hurt Jessica." So Caleb and Sam watched me in shifts. Parker and Jessica went back to their wedding. I spent the night at Sam's place. They brought food, but I refused to eat or sleep. I was going to starve myself to death. I sat on the couch, staring out the window. Finally, Sam noticed something was off. He grabbed my hands, forcing me to look at him. "Haley, look at me. Do you even know who I am?" I just stared. Caleb turned pale. "What's wrong with her?" "She's trapped inside herself," Sam said with a frown. "She wants to die." This time, Haley might really be depressed. The next day, they took me to the hospital for tests. It turned out I was severely depressed. I had been for a long time, but I was good at hiding it. Sam used to know that. But when Jessica lied about me, he chose to believe her instead. Lying in that hospital bed, I hadn't eaten for hours. Caleb tried to force feed me soup and water. I threw it all up. "Haley, how long do you think you can keep this up?" He snapped and stormed out. After he left, Sam came in, all soft and caring like he used to be. I didn't want it. He lost it, smashed a glass, and grabbed my face. "Don't think you can scare us with this shit, Haley. Nobody cares if you die." I grabbed his wrist, eyes pleading. "Then just let me die. I want to get away from all of you." "What did you say?" Parker stood in the doorway. He stormed into the room, livid. "Don't think you can threaten us with suicide, Haley." He grabbed me out of the bed and dragged me to the window. "I dare you to do it. Jump. Go ahead." They all dared me to die because they thought I was too scared. But right now, dying was my deepest wish. I pushed him away and climbed onto the windowsill. Before I could jump, he yanked me back. Sam rushed forward and punched him in the face. "She's really sick. Don't push her like that." Parker's eyes widened. No way. He had always thought of me as someone cheerful, someone impossible to be with, someone who was always smiling and happy. I had been with him every day. He was diagnosed with kidney failure. He was down in the dumps, just drifting through life. But I stayed by his side and did everything I could to find him a kidney donor. In the end, I couldn't find anyone. So I used my system points to get him a match. Of course, that kidney was mine. But the system was able to adjust it, make it compatible with his body. The first thing he told me after surgery was, "Haley, thank you. I promise I won't let you down." But what they say is true, a man's promise is like a dog's bark. Loud, useless, and fleeting. Sam pulled me back into the bed. Parker stared at me, a flicker of concern in his eyes. "How did you get depression?" I didn't answer. I just turned and looked out the window. I didn't want to see any of them. Their faces made me sick. He grabbed my shoulders and forced me to look at him. "Haley, look at me. You're lying, right? You paid the doctor to trick us, didn't you?" I couldn't help but laugh. They always had some reason to believe I was lying. I remembered how I used to try and explain myself. But the more I explained, the more they thought I was making it all up. Now, I didn't even bother. When I stayed silent, Parker stormed out. Caleb and Sam left too, not caring what happened to me. Perfect, now I could finally end it. That night, after they were all gone, I got out of bed, grabbed a paring knife, and prepared to slit my wrists. But then, Mom showed up. She rushed into the room, snatched the knife from my hand, and burst into tears. Haley, you can't leave me. Don't do this. Mom, what are you doing here? I asked. Her hair looked so much whiter than I remembered. I hadn't been home in forever. I was such a terrible daughter. Caleb told me you were sick. I had to see you. Her voice was shaking. Thank God I came. Promise me you won't leave me. I didn't want to hurt her, so I promised. Then Caleb came in, saw the knife on the floor and his expression darkened. Over a guy? Is that it? Can't you be like Sam and me? We like Jessica too, but she doesn't like us. We still move on with our lives. I didn't answer. I just curled up in Mom's arms, savoring her warmth. She was scared I'd try again, so she stayed with me all night. It helped, a little, but I knew I couldn't stay. The next morning, I told her I wanted some breakfast and sent her to the store for a meat bun. Then I locked the door behind her and climbed out the window. It was only 3 stories. Hopefully, it would be enough. A pedestrian saw me and screamed, someone's trying to kill themselves. Call 911. At the same time, and Sam were pounding on the door. Caleb shouted, Haley, if you die, I'm smashing all your dolls. I used to love dolls. I always begged him to buy them for me, and I kept them in a display case. But Caleb didn't know, I was already a dead woman. I didn't care about anything anymore. Sam pleaded, what about your mom? Have you even thought about her? Mom still had Caleb. He would take care of her. I closed my eyes and jumped. I landed with a sickening thud. I felt my bones shatter. Everything hurt. My vision blurred. People were screaming. Parker happened to be driving by. He saw me and ran toward me, his face twisted with horror. Before all this, I thought dying would be easy. But it was so hard. I jumped from the 3rd floor and still survived. My ribs and legs were broken, but I was alive. Caleb lost it. He contacted a mental institution and wanted me locked away. Sam agreed. He said I was too far gone. As for Parker, he looked at me with nothing but disappointment. Haley, you're insane. They were all disgusted by me. Tears streamed down my face. I didn't want to explain anything anymore. Then Mom arrived. She saw me lying there, and she started shaking. She kept asking why I wanted to die. Then she collapsed and had to be rushed to the hospital. I wanted to go see her, but Caleb wouldn't let me. From then on, they took turns watching me. They didn't talk, just forced me to eat. I couldn't fight them, so I swallowed just enough to stay alive. Finally, when my body had healed, they shipped me off to a mental hospital. I knew that once I was inside, I'd never be able to end it. I had to say something. I lay in bed and grabbed Caleb's sleeve. Caleb, I'm not crazy. Please don't send me. He looked conflicted. I knew he still cared. His brotherly affection had once reached 80%. I thought maybe he'd feel sorry for me this time. But then he said, nobody thinks they're crazy. We're doing this for your own good. So, I was locked away in a small white room with nothing but a bed. They took turns watching me. 3 or 4 nurses, always silent, except for the one who brought food. I felt like I was losing it. I wanted to die, but I couldn't. I had never felt more hopeless. I begged the system to end it. But it said, sorry, host. I don't have that authority. You must do it yourself. That shattered me. I lay in bed, barely moving. And whenever I did move, a nurse asked what was wrong. I was being watched constantly. Then, Jessica came. She dismissed the nurses and walked toward me, her face glowing with triumph. Feeling hopeless? Want to die but can't? I suggested they lock you in here. Told them it was for your protection. And they believed me. I didn't react. She had done things like this before. She grabbed my face. Do you know how much I hate you? In the real world, you had a good job, a good family. Everyone liked you. I froze. How did she know about my old life? Was she a player too? She laughed. Surprise. I'm a player too, and I'm after the same guys. In the real world, I was the one who ran you over with my car. The system said only one of us could live. So I made sure they all hated you. Now I'm just one step away from winning. Once Parker says he loves me, it's over. I stared at her. Her face started to morph into the face of that poor girl I used to help back in my old world. Everyone used to pick on her. I had a loving family. Good grades and friends. I wanted to protect her. I stood up for her. I chased away the bullies. I thought she'd be grateful. But she hated me. I was killed in my world and reborn here, all because of her. I felt a surge of rage. I helped you. Why are you doing this? She snarled. I didn't need your help. I didn't need your pity. You act like you're so much better than me. So that's what this was. My kindness had humiliated her. But I never thought she was beneath me. If I thought you were beneath me, I wouldn't have helped you. To me, everyone is equal. She didn't listen. She just laughed, saying I'd be trapped in there forever. And she was right. I couldn't escape. I didn't know what to do. I just counted sheep in my head. 3 days later, a guy showed up. He snuck in through the window while the nurses were asleep and carried me away. I looked closer. It was Ian Young. We went to college together. He was one of the guys I was supposed to seduce, but I could never get close to him. He always avoided me, always stuck by Jessica. So I gave up and focused on Parker instead. Seeing him now felt like a dream. It had been years, but he still had that same gentle look in his eyes. That's why I chose him as my target in the first place. Sorry I'm late, he said. I just found out. It's okay. I should be thanking you. Thank you for getting me out. So I can end it. I asked him to take me shopping. We went to the arcade, watched a movie, did an escape room, just like back in college. We laughed. We joked. For the first time in so long, I felt human again. It was the happiest I'd been in years. Finally, when he wasn't looking, I slipped away and bought a bottle of pesticide. Then I told him I wanted to go home. He grabbed my hand, eyes reddening. I know you're going to kill yourself. I won't stop you. I know it's the only way out for you right now. I was stunned. He understood. He was the only person in this entire world who actually understood me. I hugged him, burying my face in his shoulder. He still smelled like pine. All these years later, he was still using the same laundry detergent I once recommended. Thank you, Ian. In my final hours, I never imagined the one person to comfort me would be someone I barely knew. He took me to the Ferris wheel. We watched the stars together. We opened up about everything. He said he'd been alone all these years. That he'd been watching me. That he knew when I was locked up. I unscrewed the pesticide cap and asked, "Do you like me?" He froze. He didn't answer directly. He just said, "I wish we were the main characters in another world." Yeah, I whispered. I drank the poison and collapsed. He caught me in his arms, tears falling onto my face. I could feel how much he truly cared. Why had he been avoiding me all this time? I closed my eyes, and at the very last moment, the system spoke. "Host, someone wants you to stay. You cannot leave yet." My soul floated out of my body. Who wanted me to stay? Ian had already contacted Caleb, telling him I was dead. Caleb arrived to find my lifeless body in Ian's arms. My skin was pale. I hadn't been eating. My collarbones were sharp. My cheeks hollow. What happened? Caleb asked, his voice shaking with disbelief. He rushed over and grabbed my body. Ian, tell me what happened. She was supposed to be in the hospital. You knew she was in the hospital. Ian spat, his voice seething. Do you know what it was like for her? She was being watched like a prisoner, every second of every day. I never thought he even cared. But he had been watching me. All this time? Caleb punched Ian in the face. I was trying to protect her. You weren't protecting her. You were torturing her, Ian shouted, punching him back. They fought, screaming, bleeding, claiming. In the end, they took me home. Caleb knelt beside me, sobbing. Mom had already been hospitalized once, after my first suicide attempt. When she saw me again, lifeless and pale, she collapsed. Again, I felt awful for her. But there was nothing I could do. I didn't belong in this world. I couldn't stay by her side forever. Then Sam showed up. He saw my body on the bed and collapsed to the floor. The usually calm and collected Dr. Bradford was a mess. Haley, he murmured, kneeling beside me. His hands trembled as he took mine in his. Don't do this to me. Wake up. Ian cursed at him. You fucking hypocrite. Now you care? Where were you before? Sam didn't respond. He just held my hand and cried. His tears dripped onto my cold skin. And I felt sick, but I couldn't wipe them away. Parker was the last to arrive. When he saw my body, he thought I was faking. He scoffed. Haley, don't think you can trick me with this. He reached for my hand. As soon as he touched my cold, stiff fingers, his face went pale. He stumbled backward and collapsed to the floor. Ian punched him hard. She's dead. Jessica is the one who did this to her. No. Parker, Caleb, and Sam all shouted in unison. They were still defending Jessica. Ian laughed bitterly. I'm wrong. You're all guilty. Every single one of you killed Haley. He slammed his phone onto the table. Watch this. See what kind of person your precious goddess really is. I looked too. In the video, Jessica was speaking to a bald man. I'll pay you $500,000 to rape Haley, right? The man grinned. You got it. Don't worry. Then the video cut to me, being raped. I was fighting back, but he overpowered me. I clenched my fists, my eyes burning. That was the most painful memory of my life. I was the victim. I was the one who suffered. But none of them helped me. None of them believed me. The only person who ever did was a stranger who once sent me a message telling me to stay strong. I never thought they would find out the truth. But Ian had exposed everything. The video was still playing when Parker lunged forward and smashed the phone against the wall. Caleb and Sam stared blankly, their faces ghostly pale. See that? Ian spat. That's the goddess you all worship. You believe every word she says. She's the one who paid someone to rape Haley. And Haley told you about it. What did you do? They didn't respond. Because they knew. Jessica had accused me of hiring someone to rape her. Caleb had beaten me. Sam had abandoned me. Parker had told me to die. Caleb dropped to his knees in front of my lifeless body, his voice breaking. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Now you know? Ian snapped. You're the one who sent her to the mental hospital. He turned to Sam. And you're a doctor. You should have known she was sick. But you teamed up with Caleb and called her crazy. Then to Parker. And you? Haley stood by you during your darkest days. She gave you a kidney. And you still chose another woman. His words hit them like a slap to the face. Finally, I saw guilt and pain in their eyes. I didn't know how Ian knew so much about me. But I was grateful. He had cleared my name. He had set me free. That day, the three of them sat by my body. They all tried, in their own way, to make amends. Caleb brought a bunch of dolls, asking which one I would have liked. Sam took out old paintings we used to work on and reminisced about the past. Parker held my cold hand, his eyes red, whispering apologies and begging me to come back. Only Ian focused on the funeral arrangements. He didn't cry, he didn't say much, but I knew he was hurting the most. The people who hurt the most rarely show it. Later, I went to see Mom at the hospital. She had just been revived and wanted to go home to see me. But the doctor said it was too dangerous. I rushed to her side and whispered, "Mom, take care of yourself. I'll see you in another life." I thought she couldn't hear me, but then she looked right at me. Our eyes met. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I know. Take care of yourself too, Haley." My heart burned. I nodded, crying silently. My funeral took place on a warm, sunny day. Everyone wore black. Their faces were full of sorrow. Caleb carried my urn slowly to the grave. "Sis, be happy over there. And take care of yourself." Parker and Sam followed behind, saying nothing. They just stared at my picture on the tombstone. Then, I realized something. Ian was gone. Wasn't he going to say goodbye? I felt a sting of disappointment in my chest. After they buried me, the guests said their goodbyes. Mom was the last to leave. She kissed my photo on the tombstone and was helped into the car by the servants. Then, Ian appeared. He was wearing all black. And he was dragging Jessica Landry, bound and gagged. "Caleb, are you ready?" Caleb nodded and opened his coat. 2 rows of homemade bombs were strapped to his chest. "Nobody's leaving here today. You all wronged my sister. We're all going down together." Ian kicked Jessica to the ground, his face cold. "Die." He triggered the explosives. "No," I screamed, but no one could hear me. I didn't want Ian to die. He was innocent. "Congratulations, host. You have achieved full affection from Parker, Sam, and Ian, as well as full brotherly affection from your brother Caleb. You have completed your mission. The original you may now live again." I was shocked that the system had cut me some slack. But I didn't feel happy. I just felt empty. When I returned to my original world, I woke up in a hospital. The nurse told me that Jessica Landry, who had been in the car crash with me, was dead. Oh, and someone named Ian Young was also in the crash. He survived. Hearing that, I turned, and there he was, Ian. Hobbling in on crutches, a soft smile on his face. "Haley," he said gently, "this time we're the main characters." I ran into his arms, tears streaming down my face. Later, Ian told me everything. He had always had a crush on me. He knew Jessica wanted to kill me, so he tried to stop her. He crashed his car into hers to save me. But he couldn't stop the impact in time. While unconscious, he encountered the system. It gave him a mission to, if he could get me to fall in love with him, he could return to his original world. The system told him everything about me, my mission, my pain, my loneliness. He realized that if I succeeded in completing my mission with someone else, especially Caleb, he would lose the chance to protect me. So instead, he stayed in the shadows. He didn't want the others to win me over, because he truly wanted me to live. Not just to survive, but to be free. He was the one who sent me those anonymous messages. The encouragement, the only light in my darkness. He worked in secret to collect evidence, to expose Jessica, to fight for me behind the scenes. But when he found out they had sent me to a mental hospital, he couldn't take it anymore. He broke the rules. He saved me. I had already lost all hope. I was ready to die. But I didn't want Ian to suffer. So I went through with the plan. "I'm just lucky," I whispered to him once. The explosion ended it all. All the bad people died in that world. Then the system congratulated us again, because I had achieved true love with Ian. We had both completed our missions. Now we were free. I leaned forward and kissed him, this time, not because of a mission, or survival, or strategy. But because I wanted to. "Thank you, Ian. Thank you for protecting me. I love you." He smiled and held me tightly. And for the first time, I believed we would walk forward, together. This time, we wouldn't let anyone tear us apart. And that's a wrap on today's reading here at Booked for Drama. If you felt anything, rage, swoon, secondhand heartbreak, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow drama lovers. If you have any requests, drop them in the comments. Until next time, keep reading, and keep the drama on the page.